My name is Adam Davidson, CrossFit Games athlete for the 2020 COVID season, the infamous online CrossFit Games.
Lion King came out 24 years ago.
He came out blazing fast. He got that one no rep, and that really knocked him out of contention.
Not making it year after year, that was hard. I wanted it so bad. So it's been emotional to hear my name.
Adam Davidson!
What do you mean the CrossFit Games is online? How's that gonna work? I tore my ACL in 2018 at the Cat West Games, and that was pretty mind-blowing to have that big of an injury happen.
Well, none of the competition. Ankle, last one I was at, quite too heavy, so yeah, it's a lesson learned twice. Pretty pissed.
Do you have any motivational words?
No. Not at all. I'm just ruminating with it. You know? I know I will after, but I'm allowing myself to kind of feel crappy. It just happens, and it's, you get really emotional, regardless. Things you work hard for, injuries, relationships, anything that you kind of put your heart and soul into when stuff like this happens. The heart and soul comes out and waterworks.
I had to wait from July all the way to December till I got surgery, so I just started prehabbing it right away. I was actually able to get back to overhead squatting 335 the day before my surgery, and at that time I was also opening up a CrossFit gym. There's a lot on my plate, and I think that the most powerful thing that happened in that moment was just like the people in the community coming together to support what we were creating.
It was hard to see him have that setback because he wasn't able to do what he loves to do. He wasn't able to do the things that make him feel like himself. And I think opening up the gym in that time was a great thing for him to kind of like express himself in that way. It allowed him some space to take a step back from his training and his focus on getting to the games, and to see like the kind of community he wanted to build realized. Teaching the classes on crutches and like hobbling around, I could just see how lit up he was. And that was a huge stepping stone in the direction of his evolving leadership.
Guys, that was awesome. One more workout to go, all right? LoLo on 3, 1, 2, 3, LoLo!
I think it rings true just to see like why the CrossFit community is so important and so valuable is that even when you're at your like lowest point, there's still people around you to lift you up and just to love on you. So that's why our gym, CrossFit LoLo, is called Love On, Lift On. People are just here to experience that.
I was really inspired by Adam's vision to create a gym and the type of community that he wanted. And I knew that together, him and I could create a culture. I wanted people to walk into the gym and to experience themselves as powerful and vulnerable and strong. And we have people coming in all the time, leaving testimonials, longtime members, drop-ins, just saying like, wow, this space is different.
It's been emotional with like in the most beautiful way. Opening up this gym, going through injuries, going through everything that we've gone through in the last 2 years to this point.
It hasn't come without its hurdles, building this thing. It took us a year to find the right spot. And we'd get so close to be like, this is the spot, this is it. And then something would fall through with the zoning or whatever. And it was just heartbreaking every time. We ended up finding the perfect space. It all kind of fell into place. There was lots of renovations that the space needed. And that was another kind of financial hurdle. I'm managing and running all that while Adam is focused on his training, because that's the kind of partner I'm committed to being so that he can fulfill on his dream.
I've always loved sports. My first word was ball. So ever since I could like pick up a ball, throw a ball, kick a ball, it's pretty much all I wanted to do was play. I was a quarterback in city ball, and then I went out for the University of Ottawa and I hurt my back, so I stopped playing football then. And then I was a track athlete at University of Ottawa as well, national qualifying athlete in Olympic weightlifting. Fitness is a way I get to express myself, and I get to train every day and do things that I've never done, or do things that I love to do. So it's a form of like really enjoyment and playing. Not always, but for the most part, that's the reason why I do it. Why I'm going to the games? Because it's like the highest level of playing. If I can be the best at playing in the world, it means I can try and be the best in fitness in the world. I feel excited. It's just exactly where I want to be.
How's that?
That's good.
Any tips for your fans?
Just don't let go. Just keep going. Always.
I found CrossFit in 2012. Someone was showing me a video of someone doing pull-ups. I was like, that looks stupid. That is not a pull-up. I didn't know how to do pull-ups when I did my first CrossFit competition. I was pretty new to it. I think it was like 150 pull-ups per time, and I did them all strict. Every movement that I did, I was really good at the weightlifting movements. So I pretty much smashed all of those workouts. I mean, I came first in the overall comp, but then I came dead last in those pull-ups. So, and I was like, wow, I could really do this CrossFit thing. I could really go to the CrossFit Games, and that was kind of my goal from like the start. I was like, I'm gonna go to the games. I'm going next year. I'm gonna do this. 8 years later. When I told my family, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the CrossFit Games. I'm gonna compete as a CrossFit athlete. Generally, when you quit school and your life's ambitions to do CrossFit, which is a sport no one really knows about, people will have questions and concerns and possibly doubts. The journey itself can be a little bit lonely at times if you're training by yourself.
Adam Davidson up the rope again. Oh, looks like he's got to come down. He got a no red there. Look at.
Oh yeah, 2016. That rope climb workout. What a bitch. I was in the top 5 going into the CrossFit Games. Last workout, 21:15.9 thrusters and then rope climbs, all legless. That was the year they had the standard was you climbed all the way to the top of the rope, you hit the top, and then you had to secure your hands before you could make any kind of leg contact. That part I missed. And that cost me a trip to go in the CrossFit Games.
Man, he came out blazing fast. He got that one no rep, and I'm not sure what the mix-up was, but the judge called him back to do that extra rep, and that really knocked him out of contention with the rest of the field.
That was hard. That was tough. Part of sport is there are things that you have to pay attention to, and if you miss them, they cost you everything. And if you're willing to use that to learn, as opposed to beat yourself up about, you'll keep moving forwards with it. It's not going to phase you. The bright side is not going to the games. I had a lot of free time to meet some ladies. There was just one. There was just one.
So 2019 was the first year that CrossFit wasn't doing regionals anymore. Instead, there was these sanctionals. So amazing opportunity for Adam and for me to travel with Adam, for him to qualify as many times as he was committed to doing to get to the games. So the first sanctional we decided to go to was in Chengdu, China.
Adam Davidson never slowed on the rope climbs and made quick work of the 315 final barbell to win the event, and we caught up with Davidson afterwards to chat about the win.
What was cool about like competing in CrossFit in China was like getting to meet Con Porter. Getting to meet Jacob Hepner, who later on came to hang out at my gym. So that was really cool. He came over to get some Olympic weightlifting coaching from me, because that's my background, and super thankful for the guy and honored for him to come and train.
That was good though.
Experience in China was like my first experience of sanctionals. I came third at that one. They had made like a typo. I'm like sitting on the podium like, yeah, third place. And so like there's a bunch of people like pointing at me, and I'm like, what? And then I looked down and it said third place. third place, Adam Davidson. And that was the first time I met Alchama. That guy is a beauty. We keep in touch, and I was actually able to compete with him in Brazil later on. So that was cool. It was my first experience in China. Showed me where I needed to pick up the pace in my own training. So from China to Brazil, the main focus for me was my capacity work. I followed DecaComp. Every time there was like a heavy workout, I would actually bring the weights down and I would do more reps, or I would lengthen the amount of time that I had to do the conditioning pieces, because I knew that that was something that I personally needed to work on. Woo! It's not the sexy workouts, no heavy barbells in that one, but it works.
I think China for Adam was a huge learning opportunity, and it was a way also to celebrate his year anniversary of his knee surgery. No way. So being able to compete in China after just a year of a surgery to that extent was pretty remarkable. Adam is on a high. He's like, wow, that was amazing. I got third place. I'm ready to do my next sanctional. What do you think about Brazil? And I was like, heck yeah, let's go to Brazil. Where are you taking that thing?
Everywhere I go.
Who takes this as a carry-on to like freaking Brazil?
Loud. They're so loud. Their fans are like, you can't hear anything because they're just screaming and they're so excited. They're the craziest fans I've ever met. I heard that Brazil was heavy. I like heavy, so we did heavy. 100-pound dumbbells, gymnastic movements, heavy sandbags, heavy barbells, all the shit that I love was in Brazil. That competition was perfect. One thing I learned when I was in Brazil was that just because you think you're going to do well in an event doesn't mean it's true. And just because you think you're going to do shitty in an event doesn't mean it's true. There was an event called Amanda on Hands. And I was like, I love handstand walking. I love ring muscle ups. I'm a weightlifter. I'm gonna win this workout. Nope. I came 5th in that workout. I was like, damn. And then coming to the final event, this was between me and Josh Miller. I was only I think 6 points ahead of Josh Miller. I was in first place, and I truly believed I was gonna come last in this event. I was like, I'm not a good assault bike sprinter. I'm bad at lunges. I'm not gonna do well in this workout. And that's what I believed going in. And then I remember talking to Joshua Alchama, and I was terrified, and he could see it. And he looked at me, he's like, just pretend like you're having the time of your life and smile. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could totally do that. First round, I get out and I finish second, and I was blown away. I was like, what? I'm supposed to be losing. I'm not supposed to be like holding my own in this one. And so we go back, and then Josh Miller's beside me, and I'm kind of keeping my eye on for him because he's the one I need to beat. And then I realized we're coming off the bike at the same time. As we're lunging, I'm gaining ground. If I just hold on, if I can just keep going with this, I'll probably get to the games. And it came to like the 5th elimination, and he dropped his kettlebells. That was that moment where I was like, I'm pretty sure I've got him. And I end up coming 3rd in that event. It just showed me like what I think is going to happen, it never will. So I might as well just do the best that I can. So that's kind of what I take in my training on a daily basis. The word I use is just do the thing. Doesn't matter. Just do the thing. I just repeat that. It's like on repeat in my head. Just do what you do, get what you get. Do what you do, get what you get. And sometimes I'll say that in my head for an entire workout. There's nothing more than just like being in the pain. And then even being like, it's not pain, it's just, this is what it feels like and needs to feel like in order to win. And that's it. This is winning. This is not pain, this is now winning. I have been waiting like 8 years for them to call my name. And everyone's just like waiting for a name and just listening for the name. And all the athletes are just standing together. And it was just like that moment to hear my name. It was incredible.
In first place and earning an invitation to the Reebok CrossFit Games, Adam Davidson!
I like cried instantly. And what was more incredible than having my name called before and wanting that, and actually having it called now, was that I got to celebrate that with my wife. She is the most supportive human being I've ever met. And to be able to experience that with her, it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait. I ran over and hugged her right away and just thanked her for being there for me and for supporting me and just knowing that she was there to fulfill on my dream. So, it was a huge moment for Kelsey and I.
And he just hugged me and he just said thank you over and over again. That moment when they called Adam's name to recognize his status as Games athlete, that meant a lot to our journey.
Coming off of that high from getting first place in Brazil, knowing that I locked up a game spot, to come home to a pandemic.
The urgent race to stop the global spread of coronavirus. Wall Street, the Dow plunging more than 1,000 points.
That was brutal. You're at the highest point. I'm also getting married this year, or supposed to. We had to cancel our wedding, not knowing that if we're competing or not at the games. And not only that, but I had to quarantine for 2 weeks before I could actually see anybody from coming back from Brazil. So I won, came back, and then I had to just sit at home and do house workouts. Games training on my couch. I expected to come home and have a party. It feels like something's missing. It feels like nothing happened.
This is the middle of March. We get back and we're excited to go into the gym and share the celebration with everybody. And our staff is like, don't come into the gym. We're like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no way this is that crazy. Within 48 hours, we had closed the gym down and I was in shock. By the time we got into the gym, it was just eerie, like walking up, nobody's there. We haven't been there in weeks. There was a poster that the gym had made for Adam that was intended to be part of the surprise party that the gym had planned that just never ended up happening because of the shutdown. I felt sad for Adam. I wanted him to be able to celebrate that and share that with the community that he knows is such a big part of this victory. Ultimately, the gym had to be shut down for 2.5 months. And that was tough. That was tough to get through that. Not knowing if the gym would survive, not knowing if we would lose our house because we remortgaged the house to pay for the renovation on the gym. And we were just transparent about what we were going through.
LoLo, as a first year in business, it's not making a profit. It's not even breaking even. And even now, with our doors closed and with no payroll to pay, the bare minimum is $10,000 per month. Please help so that we can continue to grow and thrive as a community for years to come. Immediate action is required for our survival. Regardless of having a membership on hold or not, we still want to support you.
So what we propose is let's keep building a strong community together and have fun fitnessing. Thank you so much for letting us coach you guys. And thank you for letting us be in all of your lives. It's meant the world to us. It's meant everything for us to be there for you and for you to be there for us.
We ran a program where where the members could sponsor each other to have their memberships back, and that was amazing to see. People were like paying triple their membership fee just to make sure that other people had access to the online classes. We would not have survived that and been able to come back as strong as we did without the community getting behind us. So we'll forever be grateful to the people in our lives.
Closing down a gym during a pandemic, probably the worst thing that I've ever had to do. It felt like my purpose had been taken away from me. But I'm kind of the person to make the most out of a situation and find some friends and rope them into games training.
Originally, it was just Adam, Kaylee, and I. I always have a bop on my head, and when the curls fall out,
Yep.
Kelsey do the curl. Kaylee has a six-pack, so I do that, and Adam's just all biceps and quads. So that's him, and his ears.
Is this supposed to be me?
That's you.
Yeah.
And
good job on
whenever you tell him that, he just goes, all I did was that. Like,
all I did was jog.
Yeah.
So Adam, what's the date and what are you working on today?
I don't know what the date is. What's the date?
Be sure to stay in your square.
I got this hair. Stay in the square.
COVID hair, don't care.
That's right.
How's it going with the games training so far?
Good. So far, it's been fun.
What's it like training with Adam?
It's fun. You kind of just get used to being lapped whenever you work out.
What's it like getting lapped by a games athlete?
It's a combination of super inspirational and super frustrating.
I had Kaylee Stoltz, unreal athlete, just a workhorse.
He had said to me, I need a training partner, I need somebody that doesn't complain, and I need somebody that's gonna finish all the work. And I was like, okay, that's me, I can do that.
Because there were days where I was like, no one's gonna see me not do this accessory work. And then Kaylee looks at me and goes, really?
He doesn't have like a proper backpack to be doing rec runs. So he had this like old school child's backpack. He would take off like running full speed, and this backpack is like flailing around. Some of this stuff that Michelle had programmed for him, I was looking at like, whoa, there's no way I can do this. And he is absolutely amazing with just dropping what the outcomes are gonna be and really just looking for you to show up and do it.
I'm gonna go swimming in Thetis Lake. Do some swim training. 3 minutes of swimming, a minute and a half off, times 6.
Proud of you, babe. You got to double wrap it.
Always double wrap it.
We don't want any accidents.
That's right. Yeah,
Ready for this?
We're just gonna like swim to the island and back, and then.
You know how far the island is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've done it before.
Okay.
Quite a bit.
It's 400. Yeah, so it's 400 meters
To the island?
to the little island
Sick.
and 400 meters back.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys freaking out?
And then you have Joyce, who's like the most unbelievable, bubbly personality. I couldn't have asked for anything better. That was the best experience by far of my whole training career, of having those two push me day in and day out. Oh, good.
Hey, I'm gonna be slow blowing this, so can you look a little sexier?
My nickname for Adam when he's training to compete or during the open is Adam Davidson, because he's just a hilarious diva that we all like to make fun of.
Yep. Should I stop recording now?
No!
Okay.
Record the blades.
Oh, we did. We got the blades.
Do it again. Oh, wait, stop! Ben, hold my fucking legs! Don't stop recording.
Meanwhile, the staff at CrossFit LoLo are also getting ready to open up their doors once more.
So we're going to start with extremely small classes and those one-on-one personal training interactions to begin with.
We were just able to open the gym again in June, so that was really exciting. And then the former CEO of CrossFit made an inappropriate tweet online.
During this pandemic, as you're all aware, there's a large movement, Black Lives Matter. So from this, the Games athletes took a stand to not associate ourselves with CrossFit as long as they were going to remain the same. Otherwise, we're out.
And then Adam, as a result, decided to boycott the games. On one side, I was like, wow, your stand is like so obvious and I'm totally behind you. And I'm also afraid for you because after everything we've been through, and now that the games are like still happening in the face of the pandemic, you might lose your chance. And he's just like, it's not even a thing, Kels. Like, I'm not going.
What I stand for, it was an easy decision.
To know how much the CrossFit Games and going to the games meant to him, and to be able to give that all up without any sweat off his back, just for like what he's committed to, is really inspiring to me.
The founder and CEO of fitness company CrossFit stepping down over a controversial tweet.
There is now a new CEO for CrossFit, so we decided to stay as an affiliate, and Adam is back in the games.
Maybe a games athlete turned into games athlete.
Like a rookie's dream. We wait 8 years for this. Well, at least I did.
Whoa! Look what we got here!
2020, I was like, yeah, we're gonna travel. Adam's gonna qualify for the games. We're gonna get married. After shooting well over 100 weddings over the past decade, I was so excited to get married this year. Like, I remember when we closed down the gym in March, I was like, oh, well, at least we have our wedding, because the CrossFit Games kept on changing their date. Like, I literally canceled our wedding because of the CrossFit Games. And I didn't want him to have to be in that position, to choose between his dream and our dream, because it's all our dream. So now the Games is an online competition.
What do you mean the CrossFit Games is online? How's that gonna work?
It's happening in our gym. An inception of all the dreams in one. Adam's dream to own a gym, to go to the games, to create this community. It's all happening in the same four walls. So that's pretty cool.
It's bittersweet this year, you know, with the online format. A lot of good things about that. His entourage is going to be there directly with him, so I think that he's going to enjoy that experience.
The reason why I do these competitions is because I get to compete against athletes like me, athletes who are better than me.
We're gonna go see Patrick Velder and teach him how to use some power tools. Adrian's gonna teach him how to use some power tools.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Did you do hugs?
Welcome. Yeah, if you guys, I'm sure you guys are good.
I'm pretty much the same, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, it's the opposite direction.
Mistake made by Adam Davidson. Not listening to the workout brief again.
I always ask at briefings and they look at you like, don't. Just like, what? Is there a marker? They're like, there's no marker, but like, don't
drop 25 feet.
Don't like let go and free fall for like 1 Mississippi and then like and I mean, like, frankly, whatever. At the end of the day, like, it's an earning opportunity where there wasn't one. Like, if Matt wins his 5th title, is it like that's never happened before, but like, does it count because this year's weird? Yeah. Or like, if someone beats him, then it's like, well, did you really beat him? Like, this year was weird. And then like that sucks.
I coach Adam, I coach Pat. We all know that all of these guys are fit. I'm really excited to see what he's capable of and
how he adapts, because that's what the CrossFit Games is about. He works really hard and it's not easy, and I don't get complaints from Adam, so it's good.
I didn't go into China or even Brazil like thinking like, oh, I need to win or I want to win. I gave that up. I put that to the side and I was like, what is it that I'm going to be able to learn? And that was like mind-blowing. That was awesome because I could pick something from each competition if I was aware of it. Whereas in the past, when I competed, I was like, I need to win, I want to be the best. And that was my focus, so that's all I saw. Having a goal in front of me and not making it year after year, that was hard because I wanted it so badly.
I'm just in awe of the person that Adam's become, of the leader he's become.
Actually giving up the goal and just being ready to play, ready to have fun every single day made it a lot easier. Took the stress away, took the hard times away, took the struggles away, and really just made it about having fun. Made it about, you know, spending time with my community and the people around me. And all of a sudden, I ended up qualifying for the CrossFit Games in Brazil.
It's been a wild ride. This past 2 years has been wild. Lots of ups and downs. Seeing it all kind of accumulate in this like epic CrossFit Games finale. And I'm just excited to see him see this through.
My commitment here is to do the CrossFit Games. So wherever that's going to be, whenever that's going to be, I'll be there. Let's do this already.
Even when the heart gets going, even when I've lost all control, I know that you're calling me to you.
I feel like Master Yoda. I like walk around with a cane all day long, and when it's time to CrossFit, I'm like busting out the lightsabers, doing backflips.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Your personal music video. Covers with abs.
No sex before lifting days, man.
Hey, that's a rumor.
No, it's not. 15 seconds to go. Oh yeah. Neighbors, what CrossFit is while he works out.
Spend half my time talking to the neighbors. So there's this thing.